Let me ask you a quick question. How do you feel when you scroll through YouTube and see videos like, I made my first million at 16 or I retired at 25, and you were sitting there in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s thinking that your window to financial freedom is almost closed? I am here to tell you, no, it is not. You don't need 40 years to build a sustainable wealth like it used to be. That's an outdated curriculum. Because for me, just 7 years ago, I was 35, unemployed, broke, with zero net worth. I felt like my life had already passed me by. But in just 7 years, by the grace of God, I have built a seven-figure net worth with no finance degree and no prior financial background. I made a decision to do things differently through reading a lot of books, plenty of trial and error, and countless hours watching financial content. I pieced together a system that actually worked for me, a regular person that started late at 35. In just 6 to 7 years, I reached financial peace and freedom. And today I want to share with you the 5 real things that I did that took me from that zero rock bottom to financial freedom. Habit number 1, upgrading your mindset. The mindset that got you here will not get you out. You cannot solve today's problem with yesterday's thinking. Think about it. Even with your phone and all the electronic devices that we currently have now, we are constantly upgrading. You upgrade your phones to unlock better features, faster performance, and more possibilities. So why are you still running your life on an outdated mindset version? It is time to update your mindset to better belief systems, to bigger vision, and to higher standards. Your next financial level requires next level mindset. So here is a simple exercise that I did. I took a piece of paper and drew 3 columns. On column number 1, you would write down, what do you want in life? Like, what kind of lifestyle do you want to have? That's your first column. In the next column, you write down everything that is stopping you from getting that lifestyle. So all the habits, the belief system, the limiting belief system that you currently have, the self-sabotage, the lack of discipline, the routine that you currently have that is giving you the result that you have. How are you managing your time? What do you think about money? How do you manage money? The more detail you are in this column, the better your chances of moving away from it. In the third column, you would write down everything that you need to do to move from where you are to that lifestyle. So what belief system do you have to adopt? The habits, the new routines, the standard, the choices. What boundaries do you need to put in place to be able to get to that lifestyle? What kind of discipline? What kind of commitment? What kind of environment do you want to be? Someone that has that life, what kind of environment do they have? What kind of relationships are they in? What identity do you need to embody to have that life? The clearer you are with this column, the higher your chances of moving there. Another critical financial shift that I made that helped me move was having the mindset of stewardship when it comes to money instead of having the mindset of ownership. Being in the posture of stewardship frames your mind to manage better, because now you know that you're accountable to God, the owner of money and all resources. Because if you see yourself as the owner, you're more likely going to not treat it right. You're more likely going to squander it, spend it, hoard it, and do all kinds of things that would not benefit your life. But when you see it as a steward, when you see money as a steward, you are more likely going to manage that money well. For example, the accountant at the company that you work at, he doesn't just go out there swiping the company card. You cannot walk in there and tell him I need some money and he gives it to you. He doesn't treat money like that because he is a steward to the company's money. So he's accountable for it. He budgets, he tracks every company dollar where it goes, and he makes account to the company. When you have that stewardship mindset, you are more likely going to manage the money well. Another mindset shift when it comes to money was me seeing money as a tool, as an asset, a pathway to my freedom, as a vehicle to build legacy and generational wealth, instead of just seeing money as something that we spend, something that we pay bills with, something that we take to the store and give in exchange for stuff. Seeing money as a tool, as an asset, as a pathway helped me to invest that money wisely. It helped me to use the money to buy back my time. It helped me to use the money to buy back freedom. My first job paid about $30,000 a year. It wasn't a lot, but it was a start. And I was just so grateful to have that job. Start exactly where you are, even if it's small, because momentum is everything. What you do with 1K a month is what you will do with 10K a month, is what you will do with when you have 50K a month. It's not only about just earning six-figure income, but it's about how you manage it. Because there is a wild statistic that shows that 48% of people that make $150,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. That should tell us everything that we need to know. That is not only about the amount, but it's the foundation that you put, the habits that you have around money is going to help you to manage it when you have a lot. So that 30K a month for me was my training ground to master management, to master discipline, and to master stewardship, so that when more resources came, I already had the skill and the wisdom to handle more. Habit number 3 is manage money like the 1%, even when it is a little. Here's what I learned. The wealthy don't start managing their money when they become wealthy. They became wealthy because they managed their money well. So when my first paycheck came in, it was my time I had the mindset of exactly where I wanted to be. So I had to begin to train for that. So when that $2,000 came in my first month paycheck, I built a budget. 30% of that went into emergency fund. Every dollar was tracked. I reviewed my spending every single week. I didn't wait till the end of the month because I did not want any surprises. If you wait till the end of the month, it's already too late to make changes, because then when you pull up your statement, you're going to find out that you spent $400 on Uber Eats and you spent $500 on Amazon. But if you're tracking and reviewing weekly, at least once a week, you are going to be able to see where the money is going and catch yourself and redirect if you need to. I had set up separate accounts for specific goals like bills, savings, account for investment, charity account for giving, because I didn't want to accidentally spend my utility money on shopping. So everything had its own account. And when money came in, they would all go into their different buckets. I created a money calendar to know exactly when my bills were due, because I didn't want to have those overdraft fees, and I didn't want to spend any money on late payment. I used the envelope method to stick to limits on categories like shopping, entertainment, and dining out. I don't do the envelope method anymore, but when I started training how to manage money, I used that envelope method to keep me strictly in check. Another thing that I did was negotiating bills. Yes, even things like phone bills and insurances. You can call and ask for discount codes, and that would help bring your premium or help bring your payments down. I made a habit of checking my net worth every month so I could see the progress no matter how small it was. That 30K a year, I managed it like I was already a millionaire, because it starts with the mindset. The mindset controls the actions that you're going to do when you now get more money. The top 1%, they don't guess where their money goes. They plan it, they track it, and they assign jobs and tasks to every dollar that they have. So you don't need to be a genius to do this. These are simple, basic foundation of how money works, on how to manage money if you want it to grow. You just need to decide to start and to stay consistent, no matter how tiny the little step, no matter how small the steps. If you stay consistent, it will compound over time. The number 5 habit that I incorporated was to automate everything. Build systems so you cannot fail. Once the emergency fund was in place and the debt payoff were in motion, I set up systems to make sure I stayed on track no matter what. Every paycheck, my money would just automatically flow into its own bucket. The savings bucket, the investment bucket, the bill bucket, the debt bucket, everything was fully automated. Whatever was left that would come into my checking account was strictly fun money. I even made it inconvenient for me to touch my savings by putting it in a high yielding savings account with no ATM card, and it takes about 3 business days for me to be able to transfer it to my checking account. Why? Because we're all human. Willpower is fragile and motivation comes and goes. There's a really good book that I read, Atomic Habit by James Clear. He says in that book that you do not rise to the level of your good intentions. So no matter how awesome your intentions are, you don't rise to the level of your good intentions. You fall to the level of your system. The systems you create will either make you or break you. And that is how to win with money, not by being perfect, not by having this strict discipline, but by setting up systems that will protect you from yourself. Habit number 6, build your safety net. Save 6 months of your living expenses. Once I was done with the debt, I moved to expand my emergency fund. Remember, I had already saved 1 month of emergency fund. I extended that to 3 and then to 6. And here is how you calculate it. Figure out the bare minimum you need to keep running your life. So you're talking about your rent or your mortgage, your groceries, utilities, transportation. Cut out all the fun stuff. Just focus on what do I need in a month to run my life? What do I need in a month to not be homeless, to not starve, to be able to go to work? And then multiply that number by 6. That's how much you need to save. Because now that gives you a buffer. It gives you protection. This gives you leverage and options, because now you have 6 months of emergency fund stashed away in your high yielding savings account. It protects you from job loss. It protects you from medical emergencies, unexpected repairs. It gives you the option to take a break if you need a break or you want to find a better job. When I saved that 6-month emergency fund, I was able to take a month off and just retrain myself on a high income scale so that I could be able to get a higher paying job. This is more than just money in the bank. This is peace of mind. This is the beginning of your financial freedom. Habit number 7, don't inflate your lifestyle. Lock in your lifestyle and then just channel every extra money into investment. So when I got a better job because I had taken a month off to retrain and get a higher paying skill, when I got a higher paying job, that moved me from 30 to 54. The one decision that was so crucial was I refused to upgrade my lifestyle. Instead, I put all of that difference between the 30 and the 54, I put all of that difference into investment. I was able to max out my 401k and my Roth, so I was able to get the employer match benefit. And then whatever was left, I just funneled everything into a low-cost index fund, something like the S&P 500. And here is the best part. You don't need to be a stock market expert to build wealth. The S&P 500 makes an average of 10% per year in the last 20 to 30 years. Imagine investing $200 every month for 20 years and allowing that to compound at 10%. By the end of the 20th year, you will have a total of about $137,000 in total. Check this out. Your contribution is only $48,000. You've only put in $48,000, but your profit is $89,000 that came from compounding, not your contribution. This is the stage where your money starts working harder than you do. That is when you stop trading time for money, and that starts building real wealth. Habit number 8, involve your children when it comes to money. Teach your kids everything that you learn about money. Be the adult you wish you had. Budget together. Talk about investing and savings together. Let money be a very normal conversation in your household. Let the kids see the bucket. Let them see the grocery bucket, the fun bucket, the charity bucket, the savings bucket, the investment. Explain every single one to them and show them why it matters. You're not just managing money for yourself. You're modeling stewardship for the next generation. So in conclusion, if you have been drawn to financial content, it's not by accident, because this is what happened to me. I started seeing a lot of financial content come up my YouTube feed and I was watching them. It is not by accident. Your spirit already knows that you are made for more, and God has equipped you to solve your own money problems and to help other people solve their money problems too. You are called to break financial limits and change your financial stories. So take this mission very seriously. Learn, apply, and stay consistent. Do not just keep consuming content and keep reading and keep watching financial content. Begin to apply, no matter how small the step. Begin to apply and stay consistent. Steward the little you have. Be a great steward. Manage the resource very well so that God can trust you with more. If this video spoke to you in any way, please click on the like and subscribe button and tell me in the comment section, what is your biggest money lesson that you want to pass down to your children? I would absolutely love to read your comments. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next strategy session.